There is a tendency to put us always in the group with Mohun Bagan. If you asked me this question last year, that would be not good for us, but this year I think that the forces are balanced. I was discussing now with my assistant coach that he has played this year already 11 games in India, and 3 of them are derbies. So there is a tendency to put us in the same group, and my answer is
মোহন বাগান ও ইস্টবেঙ্গলকে একই গ্রুপে ফেলার অভিসন্ধি ধরে ফেললেন ইস্টবেঙ্গল কোচ অস্কার ব্রুজো। মোহনবাগান ও ইস্টবেঙ্গলকে যে কোনো টুর্নামেন্টে যে বারবার একই গ্রুপে ফেলার অভিসন্ধি থাকে কর্তৃপক্ষের, তার কারণ ধরে ফেললেন অস্কার হয়তো জানেন না, ভারতীয় ফুটবলের কোনো টুর্নামেন্টে এই ম্যাচটা কনফার্ম করতে না পারলে সেই টুর্নামেন্টের টিকিট বিক্রি হয় না। সেই টুর্নামেন্ট কোনো মানুষ সেই টুর্নামেন্টকে নিয়ে ভেবেও দেখেন না। চায়ের দোকানের আড্ডায় হোক বা ট্রেন যাত্রীদের মধ্যে আলোচনা, টুর্নামেন্ট কখন শুরু হলো বা শেষ হলো কেউই খবর রাখেন না। সেই কারণেই কিন্তু আইএসএলে ইস্টবেঙ্গল ও মোহনবাগানকে অন্তর্ভুক্ত করা হয়েছিল। দীর্ঘদিন আইএসএলে ইস্টবেঙ্গল ও মোহনবাগান ছিল না, তারপর তাদেরকে অন্তর্ভুক্ত করা হয়। এই তো আই লিগের কথা ভাবুন, আই লিগেরও তো একই অবস্থা। কখন আই লিগ শুরু হয় আর কখন শেষ হয় কেউ কি খবর রাখেন? আসলে ব্যাপারটা হচ্ছে ভারতীয় ফুটবলে এই দুটোই ডানা, এই দুটো ডানা যেখানে থাকবে সেই পাখিই উড়বে। অস্কার হয়তো জেনে গিয়েছেন পুরো বিষয়টি, সেই কারণেই হয়তো বললেন 11টা ম্যাচের মধ্যে বেশিরভাগ ম্যাচই আমাদের ডার্বি খেলতে হয়। এছাড়াও এফসি গোয়ার মাঠ নিয়ে অভিযোগ করেছেন কোচ অস্কার ব্রুজো। কি বলছেন সুপার কাপের ডার্বির আগে ইস্টবেঙ্গল কোচ? চলুন শুনে নেওয়া যাক।
Well, I think, thank you for your question. I think we are coming from a trajectory of 3 months already, playing different competitions, both Mohun Bagan and us. Tempo, both sides, I think that both East Bengal and Mohun Bagan, they were the dominant side. But in that given day, probably one of the reasons is the condition of the pitches is more difficult to score goals. So I don't want to undermine the good work of Samir. Tempo has been a team competing very well in this competition, but if you analyze both games, both Mohun Bagan and East Bengal, if one side should win, that should be the Kolkata teams. So it's not easy when you analyze game by game. As you see, we have a lot of people behind understanding that one result will show the real face of the team, and it's not like that. It's the trajectory, where we are coming from, what is Mohun Bagan doing, playing the international competition and being one of the strongest sides of the country, and what East Bengal is trying to do after seasons of struggle, slowly rising back and demonstrating that we are coming with positive performances, and slowly we are closing the gap with the best teams of the country. There is a tendency to put us always in the group with Mohun Bagan. If you asked me this question last year, that would be not good for us, but this year I think that the forces are balanced. I was discussing now with my assistant coach that he has played this year already 11 games in India, and 3 of them are derbies. So there is a tendency to put us in the same group, and my answer is Saul already answered when there was a question of what we are going to do tomorrow. Tomorrow we are going to try to play to win, and whatever comes, whatever is the outcome at the end of the game, at least we will not regret to play a defensive game or holding game or trying to be scared as probably we were in the last years, because the results were not on the side of East Bengal. But this year already in 2 games, yes, we lose the penalty shootout, but we demonstrate on the field that we can compete very well with Mohun Bagan.
Thank you.
Hello Augusto, nice to see you always after many years. Well, there are some differences this year. It's obvious that the scouting has been done in a different way and understanding more the needs of the team and coming more professional, and with a professional scouting analysis. We have a person in the club that is called Tamboy. Tamboy is the responsible of the recruitment, so I'm happy with what I have this year. The evidence is what is happening in the team, how the new players are delivering, and it's very early in the season. We are still trying to gel all together. For example, in this competition 6 foreigners are allowed, but we don't have the need to put always 6 foreigners. We want to rotate them, and probably there are players that will help the team a lot in the second half. But overall, and answering your question, I think that this year the scouting has been done in a positive way, and so far I'm very happy with the players that have joined the team. We are really aware that Mohun Bagan tomorrow is gonna go all out, or probably they will like to start the game more holding and not receiving a first goal that could give the game on our side. So if you analyze the last IFA Shield final, it was a very tactical game. Both teams started with a lot of respect, and slowly the openings were coming. And in the second half, the changes that both coaches did, they were to reinforce the balance of the teams and probably understanding that one action could win the game. For tomorrow, they are gonna come all in. We are also gonna come all in. It's the final opportunity for both of us to progress in the competition. And the second part of the question was?
Your strikers, Hamid and...
Yeah, as I said before, I have a new team. I have 6 foreigners. So probably in the game of Dempo, we understood that Hamid, we wanted to play him more on the wing, and we wanted to give Hiroshi a chance with just 3 weeks of practice. It showed that sometimes you need to go for the work of the past 3 months. The local players now in our team are looking very, very well, and probably the best way to understand now the situation of Hamid and Hiroshi is combining them in their natural position, which is the number 9. So one thing is having 6 foreigners, and second thing is how to combine them on the pitch, and not always. Mohun Bagan in the last game, if I'm not wrong, they feel only 3 foreigners in the starting 11. So the game of tomorrow is not only who starts the game. This is something that happens a lot in India, that everybody asks for the players to be in the main 11, but I think that in India many games are decided from the minute 70 to minute 90. So probably you need also to have a plan for the last minutes of the game, because in that minutes is where most of the games are decided. After the last game, I thought that I don't want to talk a lot about external factors. You are asking about the fitness condition. Yes, playing 3 games with 72 hours gap. Usually in the second game you don't suffer a lot, but the energy level drops in the third game. So this is exactly the point that Mohun Bagan and us are reaching. We have the chance to rotate a little bit the players. Today to have a fun session. Yesterday it was the day fully dedicated to recovery, not putting pressure on the players, even allowing them to take a day off. Today we just did a good positive dynamic training, just to have the players in a good mental condition with an activation in small-sided games. And the conditions are the same. When one team has more rest, there is when it comes the problem, but in this case, Mohun Bagan and us, we have been having a similar schedule. The similar rest, the only advantage they have is that they were playing the games here in Fatorda, but the rest of the things, I think that we are coming with the same conditions given by the competition this time. It has 66 meters wide, so probably this is due because FC Goa is playing in the continental stage and they want to play in a narrow pitch. But the reality is that is the first time that I see a pitch in India having 66 meters wide. Regarding the pitch condition, they were trying to repair it. It's full of holes. It's not in a good condition. Probably bowling pitch has a little bit better drainage and suffers a little bit better. It's more hard, so it's more level. And this pitch probably has a better grass, but it's more soft. So with the pass of the days, it's really, really damaged. But again, tomorrow we need to understand the conditions for both teams. There is not an excuse. We are gonna play in this ground, and the best team is the team that will progress in the competition. One game is not gonna change our emotional level. The day of Dempo we were not that bad, and after beating Chennai we are not that good. So we have to keep our mentality. We have to understand that this team is gradually improving. We have to analyze in a run of 5-7 games. That is the best way for a coach to understand what is the position of the team, understand the run of games, 3 or 5 games before the last game. So if you analyze our last 3 or 5 games, you will understand that East Bengal is coming to this derby this time in a good condition. It depends on the approach that we are having with this game. If we are thinking that the draw is going to be good for us, Mohun Bagan has enough quality that in one action they can convert a goal and twist the things around. So what I can tell openly is that tomorrow we are going to play to win. And no matter if it's the minute 5, 10, 20, 60, 80, we are going to be always having the mind to keep our performance level, to do something similar of what we are doing in all the games of this season. And it's true that after the minute 70-80, after the high number of games played this week, and after playing in a soft pitch that probably is going to be more tiring for the players, let's see how we reach the game in the minute 70 or 80 and maybe make adjustments. But starting the game and all the proceedings, our mentality is going to try to win the game, not to hold the result.
Extra time.
লেটেস্ট নিউজ আর এক্সক্লুসিভ ভিডিওর সঙ্গে আপডেট থাকতে এখনই সাবস্ক্রাইব করুন আমাদের ইউটিউব চ্যানেল। বেল আইকনে ক্লিক করতে ভুলবেন না যেন।